Whether the real key to unlocking your best self isn't about how much you move, but how well you recover. I used the Oura Ring for 2 weeks and these are my initial impressions. This tiny piece of tech claims to offer some insights of what your body is really trying to tell you. So the question I'm answering today, is this little ring just a trend, or could it actually be a game changer for feeling your absolute best? Some of what I found genuinely surprised me, and some of it, let's say, left me frustrated. Now a quick heads up, I'm not drawing any final conclusions in this video. First, I think it's just too early after 2 weeks, and second, I want you to decide for yourself. So stick around to figure out if the Oura Ring is a good fit for you. Alright, so let me give you a little bit of context. I wear my Apple Watch for activity and workout tracking, but the Oura Ring caught my eye because it's so much smaller. My plan for the first 2 weeks was really simple. First, I wanted to start observing my sleep. I've always thought it could be better, and I mostly bought this ring for sleep tracking because I just can't sleep with my Apple Watch on. Second, I was super curious if readiness and sleeping score could help me to plan my day for peak energy and performance. I went with the Oura Ring Gen 3 because it was on a discount, and it was a great chance to find out if this tiny ring could help me to improve my life and optimize my sleep. Let's talk about ordering and fitting process. First things first, you order and pay for a ring, and only then Oura sends you a sizing kit. That confused me a bit because I expected to order and receive the sizing kit on its own. Then comes the fun part, you receive and wear this dummy plastic ring for a full day, ideally. To be honest with you, this plastic ring felt really bad and I didn't like it. I've never had any jewelry, so it was incredibly noticeable for me. But then when the real Oura Ring was delivered, I changed my mind. The first thing that struck me was its minimalism. It looks like a piece of jewelry rather than your typical fitness tracker. I opted for the Heritage Black, and it looked nice, way lighter and a million times better than its plastic copy. My first impression of actually wearing it, honestly, it's so incredibly comfortable, and after the first day of wearing it, I started to forget it was even on, even while sleeping. For me, that was a massive advantage compared to a bulky watch. Then came moment of truth, the data. That first morning, waking up, grabbing my phone and opening the Oura app. It's kind of funny, but the Oura app quickly became the first app to open in the morning. I just sync it and check which readiness and sleeping score I have for this day. But I had to keep in my mind that especially at the start, there wasn't a ton of info available because some of it was still calibrating for the first days and weeks. Once it fully kicked though, it was a lot to process. You can find sleep stages, your readiness and sleeping score, heart rate variability, even your body temperature. Initially it was a total information avalanche, and my first sleep scores, let's say they were not perfect. The app itself is super clean and easy to understand, but if I'm being honest, I'm still learning and figuring out what each of these metrics mean and how could I impact it. After 2 weeks wearing this ring almost all the time, 24 hours a day, taking it off only to charge, my views on design and comfort are really clear. Overall, it is comfortable. I usually put it off only when I wash dishes or I go to shower. I wear it while working on my laptop and even during some light workouts. It's waterproof, which is really handy, but initially it was really weird to me to wash my hands with this tracker on. So far, there is no damage on my Heritage Black finish, though I saw some reviews where people said that it gets a bit worse with intense usage. As I have Gen 3 ring, I have these tiny little sensors on the inside, but they don't bother me at all. You can really forget that you're wearing it, and it is extremely important if you plan to use it long term and cannot sleep with some bulkier devices on your hand. Alright, let's get into details and check some metrics from the health data. Sleep tracking is the #1 reason why I bought it. The level of detail you get is so impressive. It nailed my sleep and waking time almost to the minute. The one day I noticed a mistake in it when I was mindlessly scrolling Instagram Reels, and the Oura Ring thought I was asleep. Can't really blame it though, I was practically unconscious. The breakdown of sleep stages didn't always line up with how I actually felt. For instance, there were a couple of mornings when I had a really high sleeping score, but I felt exhausted, and that was pretty frustrating. In theory, the app should help you to make connections between some of your actions and your readiness and sleeping score. For example, I definitely saw a hit in my sleeping score after having a drink in the evening. Also, I'm trying to add a coffee tag each time I drink a cup of coffee, but so far I haven't noticed any connection with my sleep score. Another fascinating observation is that my Oura Ring shows a deep sleep stage much higher than I had when trying to sleep with my Apple Watch. For example, the Oura Ring app says that I have on average 23% of deep sleep each night, while with Apple Watch it was 10%. And I'm still trying to figure out if it is happening because I really sleep worse with my watch on, or is this connected to some difference in tracking sleep data. After a while, the Oura app started to show sleep regularity patterns. In theory, this should help me to fine-tune my bedtime, but I'm still in observation mode, so we'll see it later. The last big piece of sleep tracking I'm waiting for is called Chronotype. It's supposed to unveil my perfect sleep schedule based on my unique circadian rhythm. I'm a bit skeptical about this feature, but I will definitely try to use it to optimize my sleep, and maybe I will tell about it in some of my next videos. Oura Ring tracks activity and steps and tries to figure out your calories burned, but it's clearly not its main job. Though two features I like about activity tracking is confirming your daily activities and checking calories burned through the day. I find it useful to open the app in the end of the day and to see all my walks I had done during a day and to add them. And because I wear this ring for 24 hours a day, I find it useful to check how much calories I burn each day. This helps me to spot how much my activity influences calories burned and maybe fix my nutrition to correlate with calories burned. Generally, I'm not too active during the day because of my work, and it was quite exciting to see the difference with some days when I had a sightseeing. The ring was quite good at noticing my walks and adding it in the end of the day, or you also can import your activity from Apple Health. During the first 2 weeks, it felt more about tracking general daily movement and activity and how that affects your overall readiness, rather than detailed fitness tracking. Now let's talk about what the Oura Rings offers you about heart health. The first metric is called cardiovascular capacity, and it's basically VO2 max. This is your maximum oxygen consumption, which is the amount of oxygen your body can consume during some intense exercise. The first result for this metric you will see in the app is based on your height, weight, and age. You can also do a walking test, which is offered by the Oura app, and it will provide you with more accurate result. The second metric is available after 2 weeks of wearing the ring, and it is called cardiovascular age. From what I understand, it basically shows whether your blood is flowing through your body according to your age. This is important because it affects how your body organs and tissues get oxygen and nutrients they need. Keeping a track of these metrics will help you to build some long-term picture of your heart health, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on how these metrics will evolve for me over time. Oura Ring also has this feature to track your daily stress by analyzing your heart rate, movement, body temperature. The goal is to show you when you're stressed and when you're recovering in a relaxed state. I'm still figuring how I could use this information to improve my health. Usually, it seems to be pretty aligned with what I feel. For example, flagging stress periods when I have some busy time in my work. But I think I still need more time to track this metric to figure out how to use that. So, after 2 weeks of living with Oura Ring, can I say that it is worth your money? Only you can decide it for yourself. My 2 weeks showed a lot of patterns to me. Some of them were good, some of them will require a little bit of work. And honestly, I still need more time to understand if it is worth for me. The main indicator will be whether I can observe and optimize my health, especially sleep. So that's my take after 2 weeks with Oura Ring. But what about you? Do you have this ring, or are you just thinking about getting one? I would love to hear your experience or question you have down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.